between you and me. Now that we got all your stuff out of the way, now that we've got all of the things, all of the reasons that you think you can't know God out of the way, let's get down to real business. You may have something in your life that separates you from God. Can I tell you that Jesus has been trying and trying and trying to get between you and that thing, whatever it is. Just like He did this woman at the well, the Samaritan woman. If there was one thing that she'd rather not talk about, if there was one thing that she was ashamed of, if there was one thing that she didn't want to discuss, it was the fact that she couldn't keep a husband. She'd been married and married and married and married again, and now she's living with a guy that she's not even married to, and she feels like she's not fit for the kingdom of heaven. So Jesus brings it up. And when He brings it up and she finally confesses it, He says, good, now that we've got that hurdle out of the way, let's get down to business. And He shares with her the intense and deep love that He has for her and what grace can do for her life. This woman who came to the well with scars on her arms and her body was taut and her eyes were sunken and her hair was thin, and she came ashamed, dropped her water pail, the Bible says, and ran back into town to be a witness. I love this. Imagine this. This is the kind of woman that everybody else didn't want to be like. As a matter of fact, this was probably the kind of woman who was used as a role model. When some parent's child was acting up some way, maybe that parent would say, you don't want to act like that. You may grow up and be like her. She was the kind of woman that no one else wanted to be. They knew her history. They knew her life. That's the reason I think it's cool that the Bible said she dropped her water bucket and she ran into town. Now, I don't know what all of those other women were doing. I don't know where they were. But let's just imagine they were at the beauty shop. I don't know. It's pretty stereotypical. Don't be offended. But let's just say all the ladies were gathered up somewhere. Let's say they were gathered up at the church at a prayer meeting. How's that? And all of a sudden, the doors burst open, and this woman who'd been married and married and married, and now she's shacked up with a guy, all of a sudden, this woman runs into that prayer meeting where all of these ladies are, and she goes, let me tell you about a man. You know what they're thinking. Another one? Isn't she living with Pete over there? She said, no. This man is not like any of the others. He's not like the first guy who left me, and even the second or third. And I don't even know if the guy I'm with now is going to hang around long. He's not like anybody else. He knows me. I can't hide a thing from Him. He knows everything there is to know about me. And He's chosen to love me anyway. I don't know about you. That says a lot to me about the grace of God. What's really interesting is Nicodemus, the guy who'd been in church all of his life. Jesus said, Nick, I know who you are. Don't let your religion be the thing that keeps you out of heaven. You've never probably been in church in years.